Hallelujah. Shabbat shalom to the brothers and sisters that are here today. Shabbat shalom to those who might watch this at their own discretion. As we always say, peace to the 12 tribes of Israel. Those that are scattered abroad, as the scriptures have said. Shaul said it best, to the Yahudim, then to the nations. To the Yahudim, then to the nations. There's one thing people want to use that about the blessing, but it's also another thing when he said, when I come and I bring judgment, I'm going to judge the house first. Folks don't like to jump up the line for that. Like to pass that off to the side. You're going to be, worry about yourself. Get yourself right. But shalom to the nations, shalom to the house of Israel, to all the tribes scattered abroad. As we always say, last but not least, to those who are poor, destitute, heartbroken, spirit crushed, lost, confused. They ain't worried about hearing no message about hell, because they live in hell. So they're not worried about that. So this word is for you to help get you out of your situation. Okay? You can be free if you want to be free. Yeah. You can be free if you want to be free, but it's a choice. When it's all said and done, it is a choice. But this word, this gospel is for you. So we will not hold you no longer. We covered everybody. Now we got to get to the bigger picture. Call to Arms is our title today. Call to Arms. Understanding Yah's big picture. Like understanding Yah's big picture. Like that man with the sword, with the gun, with the helmet, with the, the world, they got their way of dressing up their people for war. Huh? But the scripture talk about us being dressed up a certain way. Yeah. The scripture talk, if you read the scripture, you would think the scripture is telling you that you're in battle. Why don't we act like we're in battle? The world get ready for war. We got soldiers in here. The world get ready for war. You got people on the line. They in training. You got Geek Squad, they in the back, got all kind of gadgets and toys to blow your head up. So the nations, the secular world, is prepared for war. When the scripture talk about us being soldiers, why are we getting ready? Why are we getting ready? So, call to arms, saints. Understanding Yah's bigger picture. Okay? And some things are going to be hard to grasp, okay, if you ain't got the Ruach in you. You ain't got the Ruach in you, you can't understand Yah's bigger picture. Real simple. But we mess it up. Okay? I have scripture up here. Okay? Dear Shu Yahweh or Yahweh, Behim Zeo. Okay? Kaduhu, Bihoto, Kadov. Seek you the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. That's something that people don't think about. They don't think about that there might be a day, or there probably will be a day. Ain't no probably to it. But y'all say, you know what? Phone cut off. Phone cut off. No, brother. There was a time when Nebuchadnezzar stormed Babylon. I'm sure they were screaming and shouting and calling on Yah. And you won't believe this. Got his voicemail. I know you're there. You're always there. Got his voicemail. There was a time when Yahshua walked into Jerusalem. He broke down crying. He broke down crying because he knew what was coming. I guarantee when the Romans came, when that military came, they didn't care about your mama. They didn't care about your daddy, your grandmama. My babies, my baby. They didn't care about your babies or your pet cat. Robbing, stealing, killing, burning, murdering. And I guarantee you, that day, when the walls broke, they were screaming and shouting, Yah save us. And you won't believe it. Guess what they got? Voicemail. So the scripture pretty clear. Seek Yah while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. That was part of the Torah thing today, wasn't it? About what such a nation? You got an Elohim right there. He right there. Elohim right there. He talked to. He's so close, you get too close, you might die. But you live, you got to hear his voice. You got to see the fire that day. So seek ye, Lord, while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is in Isaiah 55 and 6 for note takers. Okay. Matthew 6, 32 through 34. For after all these things do the nations seek. The world seeks they're seeking something. For your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things. But you, believers, followers, saints, people that are looking for an inheritance, Israel, I've given myself over to Christ. You need to seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. And all these things shall be added unto you. Take therefore no thought for tomorrow. For tomorrow shall take thought of the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. So you have to have the Ruach in you so you can understand Yah's big picture. You have to have the Ruach in you so you can understand Yah's big picture. You have to have the Ruach in you so we can see Yah's big picture. Southern tone to it. Country tone. Put some south in it. That's what we're going to be on today. That the people of Elohim have to think big. We got to think big. Can't think small. Religion, systems, all kind of stuff. It make you think small. Then when you move all that other stuff, you stop doing the blame game. All right, what's that West African proverb? When you do shoot. Well, I got 3 of them pointed back at me. So when we stop doing that, we realize that we hold ourselves hostage. Huh? You ain't got to worry about nobody taking the shackles off your feet. You put them on. Key right there, boy, pick up the key. I can't. My mind won't let me. Not your body, but your mind. Don't worry about it. Yah said, you know what? Get up that mountain. Don't get up there. Now, if you couldn't physically do it, he wouldn't say, go up the mountain. He didn't say, hey, jump off a cliff and fly up here to me. He said, come up the mountain. But you know what believers do? We look at the journey. Yeah. That's too hard. But he said, come on now. But see, you got to have the Ruach in you so you can see Yah's big picture. He just said, come up the mountain. You looking at the mountain. You looking at the way to the mountain. Man, no, I can't swim. I got some flippers. Get in that water. True story. Give me some flippers, I'll show out. Don't give me no flippers, I'm like a rock. I'm a dead man. I'm going to be screaming, Aaron, Zach, help! Jump in the water. Aaron, I can't swim either, baby. I'll pray for you. But we see Yah will say something, do something, give instructions on something, guide you somewhere, push you somewhere, and you're looking at the journey. But he wouldn't have said do it if he couldn't do it. Remember there was a scene in the Torah where you got Pharaoh coming and we looked on the map and they stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? Yeah. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Pharaoh coming, telling me, hey, you owe me, player. Water over here. He said, Moses looking at me for. and stretch out thine rod. Stretch it out across the water. You're going to cross over. If it wouldn't happen, he wouldn't have said it. So there are places that we're supposed to be going or doing collectively, individually, but sometimes we're looking at the journey. You done stopped yourself before you took one step. What kind of sense that makes? You done stopped yourself before you took one step. Let's turn to Joshua 14. Joshua, Yehoshua. I'm pretty good on this mic. Can I be heard? Can I be heard?
Yes.
Well, my Hebrew teacher would say, can I be heard? Can I be heard? Yes, brother. Yeah, we hear you loud and clear, sir. Shout out to the shot. There's a lot of talented people, but lack of faith keep people from being who they're supposed to be completely. We know a lot of talented people, but lack of faith, or fear of just giving in, just give it up. And we don't, because it's the one thing that is about control, right? Right. The scripture talk about self-control, not being in control. Self-control, regulating, controlling the urges in our body and our flesh and our mind and our mouth, that was talked about earlier today. Right? We want to be in control of the wrong stuff. He's like, I want you to be a control freak of your flesh. Be a control freak. Be a freakazoid about your flesh, controlling it. Joshua 14 and 6. And it reads, the children of Judah came unto Yehoshua in Gilgal, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, said unto him, Thou knowest the thing that the Lord said unto Moses, the man of God, concerning me and thee in Kadesh Barnea. When Yah give you something, don't forget it. Don't matter the time, don't matter how long, don't matter what's there. Do not forget it. You forget stuff that's important too easily. Folks be having dreams and y'all be showing stuff and you don't forget. Verse 7, 40 years old when Moshe, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to espy out the land, and I brought him word again, as it was in mine heart. Nevertheless, my brethren that went up with me made the heart of the people melt, but I wholly followed Yahuwah my Elohim. And Moses swore on that day, saying, Surely the land whereon thy feet have trodden shall be thine inheritance, shall be thine inheritance, shall be thine inheritance, and thy children's forever. Because thou hast wholly you all the way, or did you halfway? Did you quarter of a way? But I did take one step. Followed Yah my Elohim. And now, behold, the Lord has kept me alive, as he had said, these 45 years. The time done passed for him, huh? I'm an older man now. So I ain't forgot that word. Even since the Lord spake this word unto Moshe, when the children of Israel wandered in the wilderness, and now, lo, I am this day 85 years old. Hit on that word, didn't you? Yeah. 45 years. No, we trip over 2 weeks. I mean, we're just so modern. We're really soft. Sometimes it makes me sick. Because I'm in that bunch too. Let me tell you something. One thing I can appreciate about the way that Yah brought me here is that through coaching and teaching, you call out softness and weakness. You call it out. Yeah. You see it. You smell it. You say, you're going to kill the group. You're going to kill the group. You're going to end up letting someone down. That's why you have to have the Ruach in you, so you can see Yah's bigger picture. Yeah. Where's that? You're an old man, 85 now. Verse 11. As yet I am as strong this day as I was the day that Moshe sent me. That's where, look, I ain't forgotten, man. I've been waiting on this day. Oh, I've been waiting on this day. Oh, I've been waiting. Ooh, wee. Ooh, wee. He said, I feel vigorous as I did when he told you. When he told me, I was full of joy. I ain't lost my joy. That's what the book tells us about. This joy being in me. That's something that Yahshua was supposed to leave for us, was to be a joyful, and kind of have that kind of joy that he had. Book said he kept it all the way until his what? Death. So here we have Caleb say, man, I can't wait till the day, because I ain't forgot. He said, hey, you remember what he said now? Remember what he told Moshe now? I ain't forgot. As my strength was then, even so is my strength now for war. Both to go out and to come in. See, the saints supposed to be being called for war. But sometimes saints, we don't see the big picture. We talk about team stuff, collective stuff. It's hard to be a selfish individual. It's hard to be selfish and be for a team. Got some military people, you understand? You're going to get me killed, man. You'll be watching my six. You worried about your behind. Now I done got popped. Even so is my strength now for war, but both to go out and to come in. Said he ready. Now therefore give me this mountain. You know that journey that you're supposed to be going on? And you couldn't even get to the mountain. You was like, man, you know how far that is? You know how hot it is? It's a heat advisory. Stay in the house. Don't go outside. Don't go outside. Just wait till 9 o'clock, do what you got. 9 p.m. Do what you got to do. It might be 80-something there. Now therefore give me this mountain whereof Yah spake in that day, thou heardest in that day how the Anakim were there. And that the cities were great and fenced. If so be that Yah will be with me, then I should be able to drive them out, as Yah has said. Something Yah had told you. But once again, we don't really remember. We don't hang on to it. Like it's one thing, I think somebody brought up in Torah class, it's one thing to say something, to read something, to look good, but when you got to act it out, it's your turn to be Denzel. It's your turn to be Denzel. Nah, I don't want that role. I like to be a sideline player. Just keep it on the sideline. Just give me a jersey, it's all right. Just give me a suit. I like to play around and say I'm a soldier. I ain't really no soldier. And Yehoshua blessed him. Yehoshua, salvation blessed him. You know who we need to bless? We need salvation to bless us. Because we have jobs to do. We got places to go. Things to do. And so you can't get there without that blessing. Can't get there. How did the children of Israel cross their water? They were blessed. Real simple. Real simple. They were blessed. They were stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm telling you, I know for a fact, we have been stuck between a rock and a hard place. And you needed a way out. But sometimes we gamble. Well, I grew up around that. I don't care enough for gambling. I don't care enough for lottery tickets. I don't care none of that stuff. Grew up around. I mean, well, I'm hungry. What license stuff all for? But I'll take a chance. So we pick and choose what we want to dedicate to and survive and do. We want to pick and choose. He said, if the Lord's with me, I should be able to drive them, as the Lord said. Verse 10, and Yehoshua blessed him and gave unto Caleb the son of Jephunneh Hebron for an inheritance. Hebron therefore became the inheritance of Caleb, the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, unto this day, because that he wholly followed Yah Elohim of Israel. And the name of Hebron was Kirjatabar, and Arabah was a great man among the Anakims. and the land had rest from war. Okay. So one thing that we know for sure Caleb was dressed with was patience. Patience. Because there will be a day. Remember we looked up in Tobit? Remember that? And we went through Tobit and how, he had to go through all this stuff. And long story short, the daddy told the son that the word of Yah going to come to pass now. Yeah. The word that Noah gave, it will come to pass. Be ready. And the son had become an older man. He got kids and grandkids now. You won't believe it. Before he shut his eyes to go to the other side, that word came to pass. But see, you won't believe this. He had a ruach in him. Because he can understand Yah's bigger picture. Isaiah, Yeshayahu 55 and 7:12. I got up here for you. I like this headset. It's nice. It's my head long. I need kind of adjust. Long head. All right. 55 and 7 read, let the wicked forsake his way and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him. And to our Elohim, for he will abundantly pardon. All right, that's for the next. That's for everybody. You have to turn back. You can turn back. Look, I'm tell you something. Something the adversary will make you feel like no matter how far you go, you can't come back. You can come back. Never believe that. You don't believe what he said after that. He said, for my thoughts are not your thoughts. You understand that? Your thoughts are his. You know what? Because he understands the bigger picture. So I'm trying to get you on my level. Not mine, but his. For my thoughts are not your thoughts. Neither are your ways my way. He a master chess player now. Master chess player. So your ways, not his ways, saith Yah. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways. My thoughts and your thoughts. For as rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, and return not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth bud, and it may give seed to the sower, bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. So in some shape, form, or fashion, Yah done spoke something. It's over you as an individual. I know group stuff, just as an individual. He said it's not going to return to him void. But it shall accomplish that which I please. And it shall prosper the thing whereto I sent it, for ye shall go out with joy. Can you imagine how Caleb felt? He's like, oh, this is the day. 85 or not, and I've been ready. I waited 45 years for this day. I'm coming slapping all the honor king. I'm going to slap him so hard that head going to roll off. That's why David had to cut off Goliath's head. Make sure they dead. Some scenarios in your life, you don't believe what you got to do. You got to go for the head. Some scenarios in life, you got to go for the head now. Body shots ain't going to work. You got to go for the head. Stuff come right back. Best way to kill snakes is do what? Cut that man's head off. You cut him on one place, he gonna keep on rolling. So if you want to knock off some honor king, it's in something that Yah already told for you. You got to cut their head off. The saints are called for war, but you gotta understand the bigger picture. But if the ruach ain't in you, you're not gonna get it. Verse 12, for you shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace. That should make sense. Before they went off to battle, you had Kohanim, you had priests going forth, singing, shouting, and blowing shofars, carrying the ark. So we should be going forth with the Prince of Peace, right? The Sar Shalom should be leading us. Be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you to singing, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. That's a recipe for victory for you. You just got to use ingredients. Nah, freestyle, not cook. That's why you can't cook. I just do a little bit of, no, you can't cook. We got ingredients to win. We got ingredients to win. 2 Peter. Hallelujah, you get there, 2 Peter. Y'all care about turning this off? Anybody hiding here? Some of y'all probably hide.
Go ahead.
Okay, turn it off. Look, I done survived a wedding outside. Blistering sun. Look, it was some water right. I had a mindset. If I had my flips, I'd jump in that water so fast. What kind of pastor? Y'all out down here. Don't jump in the water. It's hot. The sister girl wanted me to wear this hot shirt. I went in and wore it. I went in and wore it. I want to make folks happy now. I want folks to be happy. Entering this covenant. Joy and peace. Joy and peace. All right, 2 Peter, 1st chapter, verse 4. Whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises, that ye may, that these ye might be partakers of their divine nature. So there's something divine about what Yah has spoken. We just read over so much stuff. You know why? Because sometimes we don't be reading with our spiritual eyes. When we don't do things by the Spirit, it's hard to see the bigger picture. Let's start over verse 4. Whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises, that by these ye might be a partaker. You might participate. You might be on the team. You might make the roster. It's football time. Folks in training camp. It's another preseason game. Folks are trying to make the team. I got to impress the coaching staff to keep me. Wait a minute. In order to be a millionaire, kind of, football player, they deal with, well, anyway, to be a professional football player, I have to prove myself to be a partaker. Verse 4 again, whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises, that by these you might be a partaker of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world. Where you live at? I live on Mars, man. We live in the world. Having escaped the corruption that is in the world. So the world's like a ticking time bomb. Boom. Real quick. Luke 21:36. Real quick. Romans 15:4. Nina, hand him scripture. John 6 and 44 and 45. Go ahead, brother.
Watch then at all times.
Do what now?
Watch at all times.
What about if I'm going to take a nap? I can't take a nap. I can't be like Johnny, take an extra hour on my lunch break. Go ahead.
And pray that you be counted worthy.
And do what?
Pray that you be counted worthy.
Counted worthy.
Yes, sir.
Make the team. Get a scholarship. Get a contract.
All the above.
Go ahead.
To escape all that is about to take place, and to stand before the Son of Adam.
So they had an understanding that this world is a ticking time bomb. Go ahead. Be back. Go ahead. John 6:44-45.
No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him.
Mm-hmm.
And I will praise him up at the last day.
Mm-hmm.
It is written in the prophecy.
It is what?
It is written. It is written in the prophets. They will all be taught by God. Everyone who listens to the Father and learns from him.
Listens to who?
To the Father.
And then do what?
Then come to me.
So you gotta listen, and then you gotta learn. You gotta listen, and then I wonder if listening and learning helps dresses me up to be a soldier. I wonder if listening and learning, I wonder if him selecting me to be on this team. He said it was written in the prophets. Go ahead and read Romans 15:4.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime.
That was what?
For whatsoever things were written aforetime. Were written for our learning.
For our what?
For our learning.
But wait a minute now. Didn't he just say about listening and learning? Go ahead, brother.
That we through patience and comfort.
Through what?
Through patience and comfort.
Like Caleb had. 45 years worth. Some of y'all can't go 3 hours. Look, I'm talking about me. I ain't worried about, I'm talking about me. Yesterday, why didn't my check come through? Why didn't my check? I'm on vacation. Who can I get in touch with? Email me. I'm in the schoolhouse. I don't care. Little boy, sit down. Why ain't on my phone? Why didn't my check come through?
That's the truth. I agree.
But where my patience?
Yeah.
Where my patience at? I'm supposed to be a man Elohim. What?
That's it.
Your mind ain't even on what you're supposed to be doing. I see little Terrell over there. Sit down, little boy. I told him to sit down once or twice. Sit down.
Trust him.
See how the word do? But then we take and apply it to real life.
Yes.
Oh, man.
That's why you're constantly teaching. Or we're a constant student. No, you know how what she said? Man, what she said? She said, I thought about playing hooky. I said my stomach hurt, and I said it did hurt. Some of us play hooky too much with the Most High. And there's gonna come a day,
Yes, it is.
and you ain't not gonna be able to pass the test.
Amen. Amen.
Because we just, having escaped the corruption that is the world, the clock's ticking on this planet. You only got so much time. That's why the animals act why they act. They ready. Hey, please can we get some more? Did you finish 15:4?
I did.
Go ahead, brother, finish.
That we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Might have hope. Might have hope. See, once again, gotta have the Ruach in you. So we can see Yah's big picture. Because this place that we live in, according to Peter, and what he read in Luke, having escaped, still in verse 4, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. Right, so there's something about us that will pull us towards the things of this earth, that will pull us out of Yah's will or Yah's plan or the narrow road. Right, that's why you have to be dressed like a soldier. Verse 5, and beside this, giving all diligence, add to your faith. So, so just to start off, you got to have what? Faith. And not just, weak faith. You got to have diligence. Giving all diligence, add to your faith. Virtue, and to virtue, knowledge. And to knowledge, temperance, to temperance, patience, and to patience, godliness, and to godliness, brotherly kindness, to brotherly kindness, charity. Okay? Well, let's be honest. What is virtue? Got to strap up. Right? Got to strap up. That was a term we used to use. I used to use that. I'm sure Aaron did too. I know your brother Yam did. 80s babies, just how we talk. Strap up. You got that one strap up. Hey, what's up, homie? Huh? Cube let you know. You come over here with us, I'm strapped. It's a term we use. I'm strapped. Then we got the other aspect of strap. You had you a date. Where you been? I was on Tamika house last night. Well, what happened? You strap up? Oh yeah, I took care of that. This is the world we live in. How much crazy stuff have you heard this week? And some stuff you weren't even searching for. Some stuff is coming from other people. There's some stuff you put into you. You guilty. You did it. There's some stuff but then there's some stuff you just osmosis. I'm a sponge. You just can't help but soak it up. That's why you need word. Talking about different strap up. Strap up with some virtue. Virtue, areta in Greek. My Greek and Latin Hebrew, so I'm assuming that's right. Okay, but if you look at it, it says part of speech. What does that say on the screen?
Noun.
What kind of noun?
Feminine.
So somebody you're looking for a woman now. Somebody looking for a bride now. So one thing about this bride, you're gonna have some virtue about you. A virtuous course of thought, feeling and action, moral goodness, moral excellence, modesty, purity. Who was talking about in a man like valor, like a mighty man of valor. Boaz was called a mighty man of valor. He ain't swing one punch that we know of. Rode in on that horse, supposed to man Shalom, man of valor. It preceded him. What precedes us as men or precedes us as women? Is it virtue? Because that's something you got to be dressed with. It's part of your uniform. It's part of your uniform now. I know this much. If you're a football player and you're on that field and your helmet is off, penalty. Some scenarios, you're fined. At the bottom, a word of very wide significance in Greek writings, any excellence of a person, body or mind, or of a thing, an eminent endowment, property, or quality. Use of the human mind in an ethical sense. So I think one sister was talking about, I could see I could see it. I could see their goodness, so I can see it. Because we sure can see people's ugliness, can we?
That's true.
Can you not see people's ugliness? Unfortunately, sometimes we show our own ugliness in public and in private. So the people of Yah, the saints, are part of your military uniform. Is that you have to be diligent, all diligence in your faith, and you got to add virtue. Proverbs 31. Is that you? Man or woman? That's what he's looking for. How can somebody be looking for some? Look, this is something I be telling these young girls and stuff. I've had clients stuff. Every time they want a husband, a man, I say, look here. You done saved yourself. Don't you lower no bar for no clown. Don't you lower no bar. Well, I'll never get married. Then that's fine. Don't lower the bar.
That's right.
Keep the bar high. But see, because the Creator is not going to lower his bar. So I'm Yahuwah, I change.
Not.
What we changing for? We're supposed to be little replicas of him. So virtue is something that needed to be added. What was it? And to faith, virtue, and to virtue, knowledge. Oh, sorry, I'm not done virtue. My bad. Look, we getting set. I'm gonna get this printer set up. So just if I go back and forth, just ain't when it is what it is. A virtuous course of thought, feeling, action, virtue, moral goodness. Okay. Any particular moral excellence, modesty, purity. Okay. And they'll give you different parts of scriptures. 1 Peter 2:9 in the Septuagint. Okay. Glory. Okay. Glory. So virtue, we have to have this virtue. It has to be a part of us. Okay. Here's Webster's dictionary for virtue. Okay. This is regular old Webster. Conformity to a standard of right. Morality. A particular moral excellence. Beneficial quality or power of a thing. Sometimes, what that's saying, when you got two young guys, they're about to get in a fight or something like that, and one guy walks away. And what do we say? We say, man, it's actually a bigger man if you to walk away and sit there and chunk them. Right? Now, when I was, that age, that wasn't. You don't fight. You don't fight. You don't do. You're gonna get this. Right? But in reality, true virtue is a power, a beneficial quality, or a power of a thing. Manly strength or courage. Commendable quality or trait. capacity to act. Chastity. There's something about saints keeping themselves saved for Yahshua. You know, back in the Tanakh, we see countless times where, you know, Yah makes a reference to people cheating on him because they worship other deities, other idols, other practices, other things that are not like him. And you do it in my face. That's why I say, look, you got to get out of my house. You got to get out of my house. And when Marlon Lawrence, get to stepping. Say, you know what? Don't worry about packing stuff. I'll send the Syrians for you. Don't worry about it. I'll send the Syrians for you. I'll send the Babylonians for you. Don't worry about it. I'll send the Romans for you. Don't worry about it. You folks scattered all over the world, don't worry about it. I'm going to come holler at you. Especially the ones that refuse to follow my Torah. You just don't want to get right. I'm going to come see you. Don't worry about it. Because he ain't going to change. Knowledge. Knowledge. You have to add this. This is something, right? It said, and from faith to virtue, and from virtue to knowledge. Right? Gnosis. You got that one right. Gnosis. Gnosis, what kind of part of speech is that? Feminine noun. Right? Noun describes a person. Right? A feminine. So this has to be a part of you in order for him to take you into himself. Real quick, somebody give me Ephesians 5. Go to Ephesians 5. We'll all just go there. We're going to come back. We're on the screen for a while. Ephesians 5. And somebody give me Ephesians 5 and start at verse 26. Ephesians 5 and 26.
That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word.
Who's going to do the cleaning?
Yeshua.
So he's going to do the cleaning. So apparently, even when he come holler, when he come to see you, there's still going to be some issues with you.
Right.
There's going to be something. He wouldn't have to wash you if you were already perfectly clean. So there's some things that's still going to be wrong with you. Just like there's something wrong with humanity. Right? Go ahead.
That he might present it to himself.
To who?
To himself.
So he's going to present you to himself.
Yes.
You know, like in times of old customary, you know, you do cross-tribal marriages or arranged marriages, and then you get the guy and the other one gets the girl. This is my nephew, this is my son, this is my niece. We're going to present them. He said, this second time for this marriage, I'm going to get her and then present her to me. I'm going to get her, cleanse her, and prepare her for me. Now, he got to cleanse you because, unfortunately, it's consumable fire. Go ahead.
That he might present it to himself, a glorious called out assembly, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. Oh, continue? All right. So ought men to love their women as their own bodies. He that loves his woman loves himself.
But what about going upside your woman either?
Oh, no.
What about talking about like a dog?
No.
What about just being a lazy rascal? This ain't good for Jack. But that ain't what the book say, though, huh?
No.
So that means the husband is going to be in some hot water. Because we're supposed to be replicating him in this relationship.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what? I ain't going to do it like that. I'm going to come and I'm going to save her. I'm going to throw on my cape, but I ain't Superman. I'm going to go save her. And I'm going to get her right, wash her with the water of the word, and I'm going to present her to myself. Therefore, men, you ought to love your woman, because when I'm going to take care of my woman, you got to at least be on the same road I'm on. Go ahead. 29.
For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it, even as Hamashiach, the called out assembly.
So the Messiah takes care of the church or the body. He's saying, look, ain't no man gonna hate his own body. Because Mashiach care about his body. Go ahead, 30. Go ahead. That's right. That's right. Go ahead,
For
30.
we are members of his body.
Of his what?
Of his body. Of his flesh.
Of his
and
flesh.
of his bones.
Of his bones. You know, look, Adam said it. David said it. Flesh of my flesh, bone of my bones. It's going to be said again.
Yeah.
But we started off in 1 Peter about you being a partaker in the divine nature. You ain't no choice but to grow. So once again, if you ain't got the Ruach in you, you can't see the bigger picture. You can't see it. He wants you to be a partaker in something divine.
Yes, sir.
But you in a body. I gotta use the bathroom. I cry. Nose running. Get cut. Bleed. Knees hurt. Back hurt. But he said there's a divine nature you're going to become. And when you become that, read 30 again.
For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones.
So you got to get an upgrade.
Yeah.
He ain't going to downgrade. You got to get upgraded. And so you can't have this upgrading process if ain't nothing going on in here right now. While you're in this body of clay. I think it's one of the teachers in this book talk about it. A vessel of clay. Something precious being in there, being cultivated. She don't like when I say that. Cultivated.
No, cultivated is fine. Percolated.
Percolating. Something percolating. Something percolating in there. Within this body of clay. Some from within is like a volcano of thunder. You don't know about a volcano until the mug pop off.
Yeah.
But before it pop off, something already going on.
That's right. On the inside.
So we gotta do like a little volcano. Something's gotta be going on already.
Hallelujah.
And you shut your faucet off if you want to. Because once again, the world, tick, 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 tick. You can just be a part of that. You can have it. 31.
For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his woman, and they two shall be one flesh.
So just rehearse this until I come and I fill y'all in. Just come and just rehearse this. I'll come, you sit on my feet later. I'll teach you later. But y'all just pray, just be faithful, be obedient, just practice this. Go ahead, 32.
This is a great mystery.
A great what?
A great
So
mystery.
this thing we're talking about is a mystery right now. But see, once again, if you ain't got the Ruach in you, then you ain't going to understand Yah's bigger picture. Finish, please.
But I speak concerning Hamashiach and the called out assembly.
Hallelujah. Thank you. So knowledge, the gnosis, something that you have to be dressed in. That's to be a part of your attire, part of your suit. You can put your suit on, your soldier suit, soldier girl suit, however you want to do it. But you need knowledge. You got to be dressed up in it because he is the source. Well, source of blessing. He's the source of all the knowledge. He said, I'm the Alpha and the top. Knowledge signifies in general intelligence and understanding. Give me real quick, Hebrews 6, please. Knowledge signifies in general intelligence, understanding, the general knowledge of Christian religion. I said some of this, that's how I'm going to put it. It's a general knowledge of Christian. You need to understand Christian from a first century perspective. You need to understand Christianity once the Romans took over. You need to understand Christianity, some stuff that you're doing ain't what he said. You need to have that knowledge. The deeper and more perfect and enlarged knowledge of this religion. As such as belongs to the more advanced. Go ahead, read Hebrews 6.
6 and
Just start in one, brother.
Therefore, having left the word of the beginning of the Messiah.
Left the what?
The beginning of the word of the Messiah. Let us go on to perfection.
Let us grow.
Perfection.
So we have to keep going.
Yes,
We
sir.
have to move. So I can't be stagnant in this thing. So I can't be the same me forever. So I can't say, hey, I'm just doing me. Do you don't get you in trouble now. Doing you gonna keep you stuck. Go ahead, brother.
Not laying again the foundation of repentance from dead works.
So not laying again this foundation. So you have to understand the fundamentals. You have to understand gun safety before you shoot the gun. You have to understand how to swing your sword before you start grabbing and swing. You'll cut yourself. I ain't worried about you. You're gonna cut your own self. Coming up in here on Shabbat, you got a finger missing. Somebody said, pray for me. I need healing. I need a surgeon. What you need, man? You need a surgeon. That's what you need. Thank you, brother. Especially of things lawful and unlawful for Christians. Just that alone right there. How many Christians ain't got no knowledge? Moral wisdom such as it is seen in right living. But right now, Christian church is upside down, flipped all side around, ain't it? Got homosexuals everywhere left and right, teaching and preaching and singing and screaming and praying. Huh? Knowledge with the genitive of the object. Okay, the knowledge of Elohim. The knowledge of Elohim. We're supposed to be growing in that. So you've got to have that. You've got to have that. I think he read it in Hebrews 6, and he says at the bottom, signifies in general intelligence, understanding. Just the simple fundamentals. Real simple. Definition of knowledge, fact or condition of knowing something with familiarity. So some people have no knowledge of Mashiach. The fact or condition of knowing something with familiarity.
Yes.
You ain't on his Shabbat. You eat what you want to eat. Right? The simple basic things. You celebrate this. Those are simple things. Now once we get that knowledge and we stop doing those things, well, now what? Then it becomes a, of you, your inner things, your mind, your mouth, your desires. But for the majority of Christianity, they have no knowledge. They have no simple fundamentals of who they claim to be with. A fact or a condition of being aware of something. The range of one's information or understanding. They ain't got no range. They ain't got no range. Their cell phone ain't got no range. Got terrible cell phone service. I gotta be right by the tower to pick up a signal. I gotta be right by the tower. That's bad. I gotta be right by the tower. Cancer zone. Anyway. The sum of what is known, the body of truth, information, the principles acquired by humankind. Number 3 was sexual intercourse that we know about. It says that Adam Yada Kuwa. He knew her.
Yes.
Okay. So do we know him? We have knowledge of him. So those of us that have knowledge of the fundamentals and the principles in the Torah, you must still grow in knowledge of him. It does not end. Once again, you got to have the Ruach in you. So you can understand Yah's big picture.
Yes, sir.
Temperance. We had to go from knowledge to temperance. Temperance, Greek word is a great enkrata. Enkrata. It is also a what? Feminine noun.
Yes. Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Because, you're trying to be the bride, though, right?
Yeah.
So these are things that you need. You need to be dressed in. Because once again, when the man come back, I got to recognize you. Now, if I'm dressing like a little shake jump, if I'm dressed like a little hoochie mama, like I'm a stripper, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj and them, then that's how I'm going to treat you. Like some wholesome slut. You about to get slayed. It's real simple. It's just real simple. But if you're my bride, though, now I'm going to come and I'm taking you to my chamber and put you off to the side while I go do my wrath thing. And I come back and holler at you later. But you got to be dressed the right way. Okay? I was sharing in my testimony last Shabbat how you want to be treated a certain way. Well, watch how you dress. You want to dress like a goon. You want to be. I'm a rival. I'm gonna treat you like one. Get up out of my school. Get off this team. But that's how you dress yourself. So push come to shove, I don't know if it's true or not, but you got to go. By you present yourself. Biblical usage, self-control.
Yeah.
Temperance, real simple, self-control. The virtue of one who masters his desires and passions.
Oh, wow.
The virtue of one, so you got to have the virtue to get to this temperance. You got to have that. So that you can be a master of your desires and passions. Not a slave to it. Romans 6 real quick.
Okay.
Romans 6.
6 and
Start in 14. Let's see what it sounds like.
for sin shall not rule over you.
Uh-huh.
For you are not under the law, but under favor.
Mm-hmm.
What then? Shall we sin because we are not under Torah, but under favor? Let it not be. Do you not know that to whom you present yourselves servants for obedience?
To whom you do what?
Present yourselves servants of obedience.
To whom you preserve yourself.
Servants for obedience.
Servants for obedience. Keep going.
You are servants for the one whom you obey.
You are servants for who?
To the one whom you obey.
So if I am a soldier of temperance and I'm gonna keep control of certain desires and passions, but if I'm not, think as the brother is reading, I will serve that desire. Go ahead, brother, read.
Whether of sin to death,
Whether of who?
sin to death, or of obedience to righteousness.
What was my other option?
Death.
Well, I mean, it was either death or life. What was the other option?
No.
Oh, I ain't get no. What about? It's always a C on the test. I always get an A, B, a C, and a D. There ain't no gray area for me to jump in. When it comes to my temperance, when it comes to the passions, desires of my flesh, either I control it or I don't.
Yeah.
That means but there's no middle ground. There's no independent party I can vote for.
No.
Well, slap me in the mouth. Go ahead, brother. Finish that up.
But thanks to Elohim,
that
you were servants of sin,
Huh?
yet you obeyed from the heart.
You did what?
You obeyed from the heart.
Huh?
That form of teaching to which you were entrusted.
I wonder if that form of teaching started off with them fundamentals and principles in Hebrews 6. Thanks, brother.
Yes, sir.
Temperance, Webster's, what's the folks name? Merriam-Webster. Temperance. Moderation in action, thought or feeling. Restraint. Restrain yourself. Look, it's some things we've done. There's some things your mom and daddy did, your grandparents. It's some stuff we have no understanding on why we do and act and behave while we do. But you have been called to be a soldier.
Yeah.
You have to be called and armed so that you can fight. Some of your fighting is just having temperance. And it's hard to have this temperance or self-control when I ain't got no virtue to start off with. No virtue, no knowledge. A habitual moderation in the indulgence of the appetites or passions. Moderation and an abstinence from use of alcohol beverages. Just got to know how to say no. Sometimes we just can't say no when it comes to ourselves. So I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to be how I want to be and say what I want to say. Patience. We talking about that today, didn't we? Rhetorical class. Patience. From temperance to patience. Temperance to patience. They're not the same. Temperance is hupomona. I got the hupomona. Yeah. That's also a feminine noun describing you. That's how you got this is how you got to be described. Steadfastness, constancy, endurance. Endurance. We have to endure to the end. Right? A characteristic of a man who is not swerved from his deliberate purpose and his loyalty to faith and piety by even the greatest trials and sufferings. So no matter what I go through, I will not be swerved. I can't be swayed. I'm not going to be tossed and fro by every wind of what? Doctrine. Because I have a grasp of the fundamental principles. I got the fundamentals. I understand. I go for a tackle, wrap up, head down. Don't break my neck. Patiently steadfast. Patient, steadfast, waiting for it, like, Caleb. Enduring, sustaining, perseverance. Steadfast, constancy, endurance. Characteristic of a man who is unswerved from his deliberate purpose. I put that twice, sorry. All right, here we go. The second one, patient, steadfast, waiting for the return of Mashiach from heaven. That would be us. Because when we last read, he went where? Up. We're waiting for him to come back down. Like the way Caleb waited 45 years. He said, I'm 85, I feel like I'm 40. I don't care. I'm ready. I've been waiting. I knew it was going to be. So when Mashiach returns, right, those who have been patient, a part of these saints, the arming of these saints is their patience. Because these saints, these particular people, they got the Ruach in them. Therefore, they can understand Yah's big picture. Godliness, from patience to godliness. Godliness. Eusebia. Eusebia. Feminine noun again. Another feminine noun. Reverence, respect, piety towards God or godliness. Okay. Reverence or respect. Okay. Piety toward God and godliness. Okay. That just is kind of self-explanatory. Not the false piety, but in reverencing the holy things or the set-apart things like today. Okay, today will be an act of godliness because we're here. Does that make sense? Because the Shabbat is what? Holy. Real simple. Okay, real simple. All right, brotherly kindness. We should know this. What's that in Greek? Philadelphia. Show your brotherly love.
Right.
Oh, right. Yeah, I see.
Y'all did know it. You just need to be guided. You need to be guided. Another feminine noun. Brotherly kindness. I think one of the... Never mind. I'm not going to go on history rant. Never mind. Talk about that, I guess, today. Brotherly kindness. Philadelphia. Another feminine noun. Right? From godliness to brotherly kindness. Right? The love of brothers and sisters. Brotherly love. Right? Now, what caught my attention was at the bottom, the fraternal affection. You know, and if you know people who are in sororities or fraternities, right, they love their fellow Kappa or their fellow Delta or Sigma, no matter what. Because of the fraternal order. Masonry, once you recognize someone's a Freemason, right, then you are, you're hooked at the hip. For those of us that, was in the game, Bloods, Crips, around here, Vice Lord, folks, stuff like that. When you get in that, once you get or blessed in, there is a fraternal love for your fellow Bloods or your Crips or your Vice Lord, right? So, this is the same thing that applies to the house of Elohim. This is something that he's going to be looking for in this woman that he's going to be looking for. Do you have a love for the brethren? Now, some of you's got to chew on yourself. Okay, from brotherly kindness to charity. Charity is agape. Right, agape. And agape, love, affection, goodwill, love, benevolence, brotherly love, love. Some of your texts might say love. Affection or benevolence, especially love, charity. So this ends with love. Okay? All right. When we look at this, if we look at where it says, the Septuagint uses what? Ahava. All right. Ahava. Okay? All right. Love. All right. Number one, the affection, goodwill of the love of men to men, especially of the love that the Christians towards Christians, which is enjoined and prompted by their religion. So when we look at today, the body of Christ, there's not a lot of love within the body. That's what we're looking for. Okay, charity. So charity and love is going to be a little bit different. Generosity and helpfulness especially toward the needy or suffering, giving an aid. An institution engaged in relief of the poor. Public provisions for the relief of the needy. Okay. An institution, down 3B, an institution such as a hospital founded by such a gift. This place should be a hospital. Okay. Should be a hospital for those coming in. Okay, now we're back in 2 Peter. We'll finish up 2 Peter 1 and 8. It says, so all those things we broke down, for if these things be in you, if all those things we do, if those things are in you, we just looked at, if they be in you and abound, they make you that ye shall neither be barren nor unfruitful in the what? Knowledge of our Master, Yahshua HaMashiach. So you need this material, this equipment, this attached to your uniform, that you may grow in the knowledge of Yahshua HaMashiach. But he that lack these things is blind. But he that lacks these things is blind. Brother, give me a Romans 11:25. Other brother, give me Ephesians 4:18. But he that lacks these things is blind, and cannot see afar off, and hath forgotten that he was purged from his old sins. So if I have these qualities, these characters, as part of my weaponry, then I will not be barren and I will not be unfruitful. I will grow in the knowledge of Yahshua. Romans 11:25. Go ahead, brother.
For I do not wish you to be ignorant of this secret, brothers, lest you should be wise in your own estimation, that hardening in part has come over Israel until the completeness of the nations has come in.
So the hardening of this, and some of your translations might say the blindness. So the hardening of the blindness has come in because they don't have these, people don't have these characteristics right here we just looked at in 5 through 7. Okay? They can't see. Go ahead, brother. Ephesians 4 and 18.
Okay. Having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the light of Yah, through the ignorance that is in them, because of the blindness.
Because of the who?
Because of the blindness.
The blindness
of their heart.
Of their hearts. So the blinding of the heart, the hardening of the heart is because all these things we just looked at ain't in you. And you have to have the Ruach in you so we can see Yah's big picture. Back in our text, I think we're in verse 10 in 2 Peter 1 and 10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence, once again, give diligence, all effort, to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, you shall never fall. For so an entrance shall be ministered unto you abundantly to the everlasting kingdom of our Master and Savior, Redeemer, Yahshua HaMashiach. Wherefore I will not be negligent to put you always in remembrance. So on this day, you're being reminded of these things. You're either being reminded of something brought to your attention of these things, that ye know them and be established in the present truth. You have to know them and you have to be in this present truth. Okay? So back to 10, wherefore the brethren, make your calling and election sure. When you get you a car, you cannot drive your car forever without getting oil change. You cannot. You cannot drive your car forever. The engine will shut down on you. It's real simple. So you have to make your calling and election for sure. All right? Some Kelly used to get on me when we was in the other house about them air filters. You got to change the filters, man. You don't change the filters, someone's going to get sick because of the stuff that's in the filter. And when the air blowing, it's blowing out junk. And folks are sneezing and coughing. Well, you didn't change the filters. It's real simple. You have to make the calling sure. You got to make it sure. You have to know you are who you are and where you're supposed to be and do what you got to do. Because when that car quit, after you seen that engine light, change oil on forever. You ain't changed your oil yet. You can't see the forest through the trees. Or tree. You can't see the forest because of a tree.
Uh-oh.
Once again, you got to have the Ruach in you. So we can see Yah's big picture. You can't see the forest. You can't see this great mystery that we kind of touched on in Ephesians 5. Because you're worried about a tree. What about the whole forest? You can't get that far. Tree right there. I can't get past my attitude, my habit, my addiction, my mind, my mouth, my something. That's your tree. And remember, he told you to go here and go out, come up this mountain. But you were too worried about the journey, then you just got stuck on that one tree. But what about all this I got? We just read about going into this kingdom, this beautiful kingdom, but man, you can't, you get past the tree. You have to have, I'm going to say all day, and Ruach in you. So we can see Yah's big picture. That thing's big. Now, if you want to grab one of the scriptures over here, if you don't have it, we're going to look at Sirach and Ecclesiasticus, or it depends on what you got, Sirach or Ecclesiasticus. Here, Jeremiah, if you want to grab some of these scriptures here and pass them out if anybody wants one. Be in 37 through 15. I was going to have the page numbers on there, so it won't be in your regular text. It won't be in regular text. Give Miss Geraldine one of those. Well, some already got it. If you don't know, just look at your table of contents. Look for Sirach or Ecclesiasticus. Or Ecclesiasticus, one of those two. We'll be in 37, 13 through 15. It's on page 1451. Okay. Chapter 37, 13 through 15.
Okay, give me the page number.
What's the page number? 1498. Next time I have page number. Everybody there? Okay. Somebody read, please.
And let the counsel of thine own heart stand, for there is no man more faithful unto thee than it.
Mm-hmm.
For a man's mind is sometime wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen.
A man's what?
Mind is sometime wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above in an high tower.
Mm-hmm.
And above all this, pray to the Most High.
Do what?
Pray, above all, pray to the Most High that he will direct thy way in truth.
In who?
Truth.
What is the Ruach supposed to do?
Guide you.
Do in all what?
Truth.
And then what did he read earlier in Luke 21:36? You are to do what always?
Pray always.
Pray and do what? Pray and what?
Watch.
Watch. But see, you got to have the Ruach in you so that we can understand Yah's big picture. Exodus, I got up here for you, don't worry about it. Exodus 19, 5 through 6. Now therefore you will hearken unto my voice indeed and keep my covenant. Just talked about this morning. Then you should be mine own. Okay, if you have another text, peculiar treasure from among all peoples, for all the earth is mine. If we look down here at the bottom, we have Behi yatem li segula. Segula. Peculiar. Peculiar. Segula. You know what that means? Treasure. Particular. Unique. Singular. His. You're his treasure. Verse 6. And you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak to the children of Israel. So you are to be a sugulah, okay, my treasure. So he's claiming you. You're mine. Now when you see the segulah, we've been talking about all those things of describing the people, the saints in 2nd Peter. Yes, in 2nd Peter. And all those were feminine. Now when we look up here on the screen, when you have the segulah, when we see the hay and we see that makes it what? Feminine. There's certain characteristics you got to have now. He says, and a holy nation, right? Kadosh. Got that highlighted for you. Okay? Vagoy Kadosh, right? Holy nation, or nation of holy. Nation of holy, what it says in Hebrew there. So this, when we see Kadosh here, or Kadash, I'm sorry, all right, or Kadosh, I'm sorry, Kadosh here, it's the first time that adjective is used in your Torah. First time it's used. You know when it's used? When it's talking about the people, the peculiar people. My own peculiar treasure among all people, all the earth is mine. You should be a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. First time that adjective is used in your Tanakh, in your Hebrew, on your Masoretic text. First time it's used to describe you. See, he ain't gonna lower his bar now. He's got a lot of descriptions of how you're supposed to be. So do we match up? Are we dressed up? In Sirach, Ecclesiastes 37 and 25, the days of the life of man may be numbered, but the days of Israel are innumerable. Now that makes sense because you're supposed to partake of a divine nature back in 2nd Peter, you know. And if you're going to take of this divine nature, then your days will be what? Innumerable. They won't be able to be counted. But see, if I can't get past the tree, then, you know, I can't get the bigger picture. I don't get my part. Somebody talk about a role in it. You don't get your role. You understand your role in this. First Esdras, I got that up here for you. The nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, the Levites have not put away from them strange people of the land, nor the pollutions of the Gentiles, to wit, of the Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, and the Moabites, Egyptians, Edomites. For both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land, and from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity. You practice what you preach, right? You are what you do. You say one thing, be something else. Right? I'm from Missouri. I'm from the Show Me state. Show me. So you know what he want to see? He want to see all that we looked at in 2nd Peter. He want to know if you're this treasure he talking. He want to know if you're a sugulah. If you're his. Look, he ain't got nothing cheap now. He ain't talking about a little fake little toy jewelry that you get out of a carnival. Out of a who? Bubble gum. That's what I was thinking. Thank y'all. Y'all knew exactly. Them 80 you knew exactly what I was talking about. Little toy candy. 25-cent worth. It's not what he's talking about. Right. Giving thanks to the Father, which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light. Colossians 1 and 12. See the stuff how they been talking in the New Testament. That's why every time I hear somebody say, man, that New Testament, man, this what? No, that's just you. They have an understanding. You see, they full of the Ruach. So they get the bigger picture. To be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light. Right? Saints is Hagios. We talked about this before. Hagios. Hagios. Holy ones, saints. Septuagint for kadosh, as we looked at down, you see the bottom. So some of these, what I do like about blue letters, they will kind of point out something how the Septuagint uses something. Well, that's what the Septuagint would use, which is pretty good. Properly reverend, worthy of veneration. So kadosh. So these saints, okay, these saints. Let's look at Ecclesiasticus back in 37. Back in 37. Somebody give me 16 through 18.
Let reason go before every enterprise
Mm-hmm.
and counsel before every action.
Mm-hmm.
The countenance is a sign of changing of the heart.
It's a what?
Is a sign of changing of the heart.
So this is part of me growing. Right, I have to grow. Go ahead.
For manner of things appear,
Mm-hmm.
good and evil,
Mm-hmm.
life and death,
Mm-hmm.
but the tongue ruleth over them continually.
But the who?
But the tongue ruleth over them continually.
So my mouth can mess me up.
Mm.
See, it's hard to be a saint. It's hard to be one of his soldiers. It's hard to get dressed up right when your mouth is awful.
Mm.
You're always running your mouth. You ain't saying nothing.
What's the scripture again?
That was Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 37. 14 through 16, brother. What was it? 16 through 18.
Yeah, that was.
16 through 18. All right. Go ahead, you got it. Go ahead and give me 37 and 27 through 28.
All right.
Ecclesiasticus 37. That same chapter, y'all. 27 through 28. Let's go skip some verses.
My son,
Mhm.
prove thy soul in thy life,
Mm-hmm.
and see what is evil for it.
He said, do what now?
My son, prove thy soul.
Prove it. Didn't Peter say, make your calling and election what?
Sure.
You see how the word tie up.
Mm.
You know, that's just like when we supposed to be walking around, when you got your little kids, you walk around and they got their shoes on, but their shoes is on what? It's untied. But you won't believe this. Somebody give me Ephesians, go and give me Ephesians 6 real quick. You hold that what you got. Ephesians 6. Shoes untied.
Ephesians 6 and what?
Give me 15.
15. And having fitted your feet with the preparation.
And have done what to your feet?
Fitted your feet with the preparation of the good news of peace.
So my shoes got to be tied tight with this scripture.
Mm.
I can't be walking around, you got J's on. Your shoes, what your shoes untied for? You had to have a word on your feet. Ain't that what? But the serpent, the seed of the serpent and the seed of the woman, that the seed of the woman, he has the power to do what? To stomp on the serpent head. But the serpent has the power to bite at the heel. But if you got the gospel on your feet, if the word is tied on tight, then you should crush his head. But you got to be dressed in your attire. Go ahead and finish up. Shot.
All right. My son, prove thy soul in thy life,
Mm-hmm.
and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it.
Give not into it.
Mm-hmm.
So have temperance.
Mm.
But I got to have virtue though, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I also got to have knowledge.
So,
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
for all things are not profitable for all men.
It's not what?
For all things are not profitable for all men.
Didn't Shaul say that?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Shaul say? Shaul said that too, didn't he? Man, that word tied good. You just got to keep it tight. Go ahead.
Neither hath every soul pleasure in everything.
But then he knows too. We're going to turn to Daniel 7. We're going to wrap this up, Daniel 7. Because we see that we are trying to acquire a sainthood status. Right? It's safe to say that to be a called out one, or to be a saint, right? Which is what Yah had said in the beginning about you being a peculiar people in a holy nation, right? And I think Peter says that also in 1st or 2nd Peter, or Cephas says that. But we want to look at Daniel 7. Once again, you have to have the Ruach in you so we can see Yah's big picture. Daniel 7 in verse 21. And it reads, and I beheld the same horn made war, made war, made war, made war. With who?
With the saints.
The saints. Uh-oh. Well, that's you, don't it?
Yes.
But see, you got to have the Ruach in you so we can understand Yah's big picture. So we can talk about the kingdom and talk about these things, but you got to get strapped for war. That's a fact. So starting over at 21, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. So it was told in your book, but then he read earlier Romans 15, 5 and 4. The whatsoever things written before I'm written from my learning. So that we know that there will be a time with the saints, we're going to be, I'm in a boxing match. And I'm falling, I'm fading back into the corner. And when that one brother on Rocky, he said, man, throw in the towel. Before Apollo Creed got killed. He said, throw in the towel. Until the Ancient of Days came. And judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. And thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms. This beast, this kingdom is so different. It's so unique. This system. We're talking about global superiority. We're talking about technological advances. We're talking about everybody in here got a debit card or cash. That cash you got in your pocket says, in God we trust. What God they talking about? Gotcha. Everybody has some kind of number. You're in some kind of system. And it's global. This beast is so unique. It's unlike all the others. It will be diverse from all kingdoms and shall devour the whole earth. The Grecian Empire got pretty far. Roman Empire got pretty far. But this unique beast will have control over the whole planet, and it will make war with who?
The saints.
But see, you got to have the Ruach in you so that you can understand Yah's big picture. So when he's trying to get us through the forest, and I can't really maneuver because I'm stuck on a tree. He said, hey, like Caleb, hey, when that mountain, when that time comes, you go get it. But I never moved because of the journey. The journey was too far, the mountain too big, and I ain't got enough gas money. I ain't got no gas money to get there. Verse 24, the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall rise, and another shall rise after them, and it shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue the three. He shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. Has that happened?
Yes.
Okay. And they shall be given into his hand until the time and times of dividing of time. And it's not over. I think that our current POTUS signed a Sunday law. He also signed a 400-year bill too. We'll talk about that next week. So there are laws and things that will be changed or maneuvered or manipulated for the saints. So the book already told you about you in the latter time. But look, if you ain't got the Ruach in you, you ain't going to understand Yah's big picture. It's going to go. So all those things in Peter, that's your war, that's your weaponry. Are we dressed? Are we ready? Somebody give me Isaiah 52 and 1. Brother, give me Isaiah 52 and 1. And reader, you give me 1 Peter 5, 4 through 8. We'll close out on that. Book is very clear. It's time for the saints to be armed. Really, it's been overtime. It's been past time for us to be armed, to be strapped up. Because this system, okay, is coming for the saints of the Most High. Go ahead, brother. Read.
Awake, awake.
Do what?
Awake.
So you said apparently someone's asleep. Ain't that what happened with Lot? When there was time, what was he doing? So the messengers, the saints, because we have another section in Daniel where he's talking about the two saints talking about angels. So the saints had to wake up another saint, except they're just one celestial, one terrestrial, but whatever. He had to wake him up out of his sleep because destruction was coming. Start over.
Awake, awake. Put on your strength.
Put on your who?
Put on your strength.
So we got to be dressed in strength. I wonder if the strength that prophet talking about has anything to do with all the breakdown we did there in 2 Peter. Virtue, temperance, patience, charity, brother. I wonder if that is that a part of my garb? Because I know we like to dress the part. Wait and finish.
O Sion, put on your garments of splendor. O Jerusalem, the set apart city.
The what city?
The set apart city.
See, the set apart people got to go back to the set apart city. It's real simple. It's real simple. Was that the end of verse 1?
No.
Go ahead and finish.
For no more do the uncircumcised and unclean come into you.
Come into who?
You.
So this time to separate now. Time to tighten up. Tighten up the shoes on our feet. Stop walking around with shoes untied. Go ahead, brother.
That's it with verse 1.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
What chapter was that?
That was Isaiah 52 and 1. Now we're in got Ephesians. I'm sorry, 1 Peter 5, 4 through 8. Ephesians on my mind today.
And when the chief shepherd shall appear.
When the who?
Chief shepherd.
When the big fella pop up. When he come. Go ahead.
Ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away.
So he coming with something for you. Now this is for the saints though. So the ain'ts is something different. There ain't gonna be no crown for you. The book says he got a rod. Hard rod in his hand. Hard sword coming out of his mouth. Eyes full of fire. Full of the fiery ones behind him. They've been itching for this moment. They've been itching like Caleb was itching. Because they patient. We came, where my check?
Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you, be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility.
Be clothed with who?
With humility. For y'all resisted the proud, and give grace to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Yah, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you.
Casting all your what?
Yeah.
Because he cares for you. So we can't be stuck on that tree. Right? We have to understand that we got to be able to see Yah's bigger picture. We've got to see the bigger picture. And his picture is huge, and you got a big part to play in it. And you have to observe and maneuver the forest, but I can't because of that tree. Okay? So that was 1 Peter 5, 4 through 1, and 4 through 8, and we got to be clothed with humility. So one prophet telling you, you got to be dressed in strength. Another one saying, dressed in humility. So we see that the saints, that's a call to arms. We've got to get dressed. And you got to be in your uniform. Obviously, we got Ephesians 6 and the armor and the helmet and the shield and the sword. Yes, they have all that. Anyway.
I'm going to finish.
Yes, please. I'm sorry, bud.
All right. Be sober.
Be sober.
Be vigilant.
Vigilant.
Because your adversary the devil.
Because of who?
Your adversary the devil.
So we're at war. So we are at war. Go ahead.
As a roaring lion.
As a roaring lion.
Walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
I wonder, can he devour those who ain't got their weaponry on? But if you ain't got your weaponry on, you just out here butt naked. Oh, you an easy kill. You know what some predators do? When they come, they take a bunch of herd of gazelles and whatever, what you call it, wildebeest. They ain't gonna be going for the big one. Let me get the little one. I'll run off the big ones. Let me get the little. Let me get the slow one. I ain't exert a lot of energy. Let me go for the easy kill. That's in your book though. That's something Amalek did. I'm gonna get those in the back. Where the weak and the feeble and the old is at. Caleb was 85. He said, I got strength of a young man. Because I'm waiting on the promise. Gotta keep waiting on the promise. Don't take your mind off the promise. That's a call of arms to the saints. Right? But we've got to have the Ruach in us so we can see the bigger picture. Shalom. All right. Just remember, everybody prepare for Sukkot, prepare for Sukkot.